Hi guys, this is Nukeduck, the mid laner for Excel. Today we're gonna go over one of my soloq games to teach you guys how to play Akali in soloq. So Akali is an assassin. She plays normally mid lane, and she is very good at carrying soloq. So the runes you want to go for Akali is you always want to go, if you want to go position, you're going to do Presence of Mind, Legend Tenacity, Coup de Grace, and you're going to do Fleet against ranged, and you're going to do Conquer against melees. And secondary, you would want to choose between Resolve, where you would do normally, you could do either second win, bone plating or conditioning, they're all good. And then in the third row, you would usually choose Overgrowth, but you could also choose Unflinching if they have a lot of CC. Alternatively, you could also play Taste of Blood with Ravenous Hunter as the secondary. As for the item you want to build, in my opinion, you want to do Rocket Belt most of the time. If you play the Conqueror style, you can also do Riftmaker, which is also good. But I would say most of the time you would want to do Rocket Belt. And I think you should not do Night Harvester, even though it's not bad, but I just think it's just the same as Proto Belt, just worse. So this game I'm playing in Sylas, so I decided to play with Conqueror. In solo queue I always take Ignite against Sylas because he heals a lot, so it helps you kill him. How you play your champ kind of depends on the opponent champ, so against Sylas the most important at level 1 is to try to avoid his second E. So what you want to do is try to position in a way where if he jumps, you're going to be able to hide between two creeps. So here, I'm using these two creeps and you cannot eat through them. So if you were to jump, I will walk back. And if you were to jump in, then I would walk here. So like, I'm using those two creeps as kind of like a wall for his E. That way he's not going to be able to hit the second E. So if he does go for a trade, I will usually win it. So you just Q him, of course, when he gets in range. And you keep trying to hug your creeps so you don't get hit by his E. Don't overextend, because if he just E auto and hits E on you, and then another E2 and hits auto again, it's going to chunk you a lot, so you have to take care for that. Once he hits level 2, it's important that you space him. So now he's going to have Q and W, and you're going to have Q and E or W. So there it was kind of a mistake. You don't want to let him W you as his first spell. You want to like just poke him with Q outside of his W range. So if he wants to W you, he has to E forward. If he does that, then it's a good spot for you, because then you can put Shroud and use E or whatever. Like, it's good for you if you use more spells. So basically it's just about spacing him. In this lane too, you're kind of as Akali the one with the sustain and the one with the unlimited resource. So you kind of just want to play like a slow lane. You don't really win like an all-in if he has full mana and health. So yeah, just play slow, don't let him engage on you, and just push if you can. It's worth to note that he has teleport and I don't. So like, I don't remember exactly what I did this game, but there is a world where you can still lane after he teleports and you don't have to base if you played correctly. Especially if you have fleet footwork, but I don't this game. So most likely he's gonna back soon because he's going out of mana, so he's gonna back in TP. And then ideally, I would want to base, but I also don't have to. He TPs with shoes. So those shoes don't make him actually stronger in a fight or in lane. It makes him stronger in a fight, but not in lane. Yeah, so if you buy shoes, you can just keep laning. I mean, the thing is you have Ignite advantage, so anyway, even if he has the item advantage, you can still kind of play the game. In that matchup, it's like, if he's not close to his turret and you have Ignite, you can pretty much always win an all-in if you just ult him. He's not gonna be able to like out-heal it or anything like that. Like, I'm kind of looking at this situation where you kind of want to base, but you don't have to, so you only really take the base if you don't lose anything for it. Okay, Thresh, Hex Flash and hooked me. This was... Yeah, so Thresh made a decent play, but my team's also here to cover, so I do have to base. I decided to buy here to buy level 2 shoes because there was a way of crashing to my tower, so I would just lose a little bit less farm if I take the tier 2 shoes first. Also, they don't have MR, so it's also okay buy, but I would not buy it if I would get a clean base. I would prefer to buy like a straight AP. So I would buy the Blasting Wand and a book and probably Dark Seal. As the situation was, it's better to just make sure that you don't lose like XP and gold. Also, one thing to note in the matchup is that your ult is way lower cooldown than his ult. If you do an all-in, you both use Akali ult, you will not be able to use Akali ult once your ult is up. And also, you have to keep spacing him even at this point, see here? Okay, so we're gonna rewatch this because it's a bit important for you guys to know. So the whole reason this situation is even created in the first place is because you're spacing Sylas. So he wants to trade, but he can't because I'm just gonna Q him and I will not let him W because his W range is shorter than my Q range. So I'm gonna Q him and move back and I will just keep doing this. And that's why Sylas gets impatient and he decides to E forward now because he knows I will not let him W me unless he uses E. And when he does use E, now he's susceptible to all in because now he cannot jump back out. And he also can't like use his E to stop your E or ult, which he can do if you go on him first and he uses E. You can't really use E2 or R2 on him because he can use E to cancel them. So now he uses everything, and now this situation, now he's just gonna die. He used all his spells and I'm almost full health and I have Ignite, so it's easy all in. I had the E mark on him, so just ult and then E. It's just a little bit better. And then he took my ult and jumped, and now he tried to flash away. And then on Akali you can use ult too and flash, but I would recommend to try that a lot in practice tool before you try to do it though, because it's not like super easy. So it's important to be play correctly and not lazy, and then the opponent will make a mistake because he sees that it's not going well for him, so he kind of just tries to flip it, and that's what's happened here. Like he wouldn't normally think he wins, but he just, he got impatient because he saw it was not going his way. The skill order for Akali is it's always the same. You're always you max Q into E into W with always leveling up R when you can. Sometimes you'll skill E at level 1 if they overcommit, and sometimes you'll skill E at level 2 and Q at level 1, or sometimes Q at level 1 and W at level 2. Yeah, I don't have anywhere to roam right now, so I just push and look for a trade perhaps. So now we will just try to catch Varus. So he just get one-shotted. The thing as well with the new Akali is that her power is shifted away from her passive to her E. So now the second E is like the major damage now. So your whole playstyle now is way more around hitting your E rather than just setting up a lot of passives, I would say. Unless you play against something extremely tanky, but most targets, hitting your E is gonna be the deciding factor. So the goal now is not really anything special. Like here, if you have mid push, you should be checking this for wards, but the wave was already there, so I didn't check it. Silence backs and TPs. Okay, so try to all in him with Ignite. He had ult advantage there, that's why he went for it. But yeah, I'm stronger than him at the moment. Okay, that was chaotic. So what I tried to do on the Evelyn, I'll just show that because it's the most important. So the fight against Sylas was just, if you hit E and you have Ignite, Sylas, and he uses his spells to go forward, you always win the Sylas pretty much. On Evelyn here, I try to do the best combo for Akali, I would say right now, is like you ult one and then you E to cancel it. But he ulted it because he saw it coming, so. But that's the combo you want to do. But it's also, you should not be scared to use your ult as Akali because the cooldown is quite low cooldown. And here I go in because I just think I win the trade. My Morgana follows up well, so it works. Kind of, so it's a 1-for-1. And then Jinx ulti finishes. I did not calculate it, of course, but yeah. So Sylas roaming bot. It's extremely important in soloq to ping that the opponent mid is roaming, because yeah, if you don't, then he's gonna always get free kills. So I just go back to mid and push it. So now again, it will just be like you have to continuously space Sylas every time you're in the same lane. And then you just look to, if he overextends, you try to kill him. If he doesn't, you try to roam. So now I should be moving to bot, see if I can help them. Like at this point, you're of course super strong with the mythic completion. So I saw the ward, so decided not to full commit, because they would see I'm coming. So the chance that they're gonna like die is very, very low. So it's the same thing now, just back to mid to clear the wave, and then potentially look for roam top or bot. And here the wave is so close that I decided not to roam. That's why I just E here in case Sylas is like trying to wait for me, or Evelynn or something. Because I knew that I was not going to top anyway, so just going push mid. Okay, and they're all in Sylas. I guess the main thing about this all-in is that he uses W on me, so he was like really close. And then the second important thing is that here I have my ult ready. I can use second R on him now, but I know that he has flash, so what people are going to try to do is they can't react to your ult, especially not at this distance. So he's going to try to flash and predict when I use it. So it's better to just wait half a second, you know, pretend like you're going to use it. He's always going to try to predict flash, so, and then you just ult on him afterwards, after he flash. If you have the time to do that, you should always really do that. Because they wait, and they know that you need to wait 2.5 seconds before you ult, and then they time that, and then they flash when that happens, so to hope that you just ult straight away. So the thing with Akali is the second item is always situational. This game, they have a fed Evelynn, and Evelynn is kind of champ that only impacts the game if she one-shots people. So, and also they're double AP mid-jungle, so just decided that I should be slowing down here. But yeah, you want to build MR against Evelynn, double AP. The more fed you are, the more inclined you should be to do a defensive second item, because they need to kill you to win the game. So Rocket Belt to catch distance gives you move speed towards enemies. I'm looking for an ult E right now. So like either Thresh or, you know, anyone, but yeah, I'm looking to ult E something here. So I end up ult-ing the Jace, and he's stuck, so then you second E and Q, and then you want to ult away, because the R hitbox is kind of from anything you touch, so even though he's like on the left side of me, even if I ult back like away to my team, he will still be hit by the second ult. Should pretty much always ult away with Akali, the second ult, when in team fights like that. Like ulting in will usually give you troubles. And then you should also, in those situations, save your shroud. If you're going to do a ulti combo, you should normally shroud after R2 in team fights or in fights in general. But you cannot always open with ulti, but that's the optimal team fighting script for Akali. I decide that I don't need to base. Normally here you don't have gold for Banshees, or you can buy Zafidish Codex. So yeah, so I just try to hope for someone face check the jungle. It was Thresh, so I cannot one-shot him. You just chunk him and let him go with a warning. At this point I'm just really fed and hard to kill, so I'm kind of just playing really aggressive but not overcommitting on them, just so they don't really know what to do, because I'm just playing, yeah, I'm damaging them, playing aggressive, and they are not, they cannot do anything about it if I don't overcommit. So here just about kind of knowing what's lethal was the core of this fight. So I know I don't need to use ult 2 on Evelynn because she was already low. I knew that Jace dies from Q ignite, so I just ult in to Q ignite him, and then yeah, just finish other people off. Now I finally recall, I will have Banshee gold now for sure. Yeah, this itemization is kind of important, I would say. Now it's because I'm so fed, I already assume that they should be buying MR. So even if they wouldn't have MR, I would always start my void stuff right now. Because my jungler is also AP, so I would say if you're that fed, Maybe not in low elo, but I will always, how I play is that I will always start my void staff now as the third item, because I will have too much damage for them either way. Of course, if you're fed with Akali, you pretty much beat all squishes, and if you hit E, then you get one shot. So like I just positioned the hair because I knew Jace was wanting to flank our team, so I would cut him off. So we'll go for Varus. It's the same thing again. It's like you ult and then E. It gives you just all the options and all the damage. And you can also E. If the E hits your shroud, you can also recast to your E, so you can also use that to gain extra mobility or be more annoying for the opponents. Yeah, there's no reason to get Nash, have a lot of gold, and then fight them 5v5. Just go back, spend your gold. And here I'm buying stopwatch because I assume that we're gonna end the game soon. I cannot complete my void stuff, so then I just buy one stopwatch just to have something strong for the team fight. How I want to play Nash here is that I want to play on 2 lanes because especially it's soloq, so you could think like, okay, I win Jace 1 versus 1, so I go top. But in my opinion, that's not what you should do. If Sion goes bot and your bot duo goes mid, then I think you should just go with them. Like you just go either to the jungle or you go bot, or like you just back up both your teammates. If you go top, you just leave room for them to engage on your team or them to engage on you. Most likely in this situation, you think like you're too strong, so they cannot kill you 2v1, but they're just gonna go for your team then. And rule of thumb, in my opinion, is that if you can 1v2 or 1v3 people, you can just group with your team and end the game, because then like you're gonna win a 5v5 way harder. So I just don't use that logic pretty much. Where they will commit, I will go, or where they will give me an opening. So now I see Sylas under tower, I know that I can dive him. So here what you want to do is just ping your Sion to go, like you just ping him. Because all you need him to do is literally hit the guy once, so he tanks tower. In this case he took Sion ult and he escaped, but we don't really care, we just want to push. Notice mid wave is not buffed by anyone, so just go there. Pretty standard. And they surrender, yeah. I would say the biggest takeaway is just like how to play Akali in like early mid game to get fed. Akali matchups that are good is generally like melee, and other assassins she does well against. So she does well against all the Irelia, Yasuo, Zed, Yone. All those champs she does well against. Her hard matchups are more like mage champions like Orianna, Victor, and also LeBlanc and Kassadin can be hard, but you can also win. But people will pick that against you. Also Sylas is also one of those champs. But you just gotta make sure that if you do play against a mage, do not take Conqueror and Ignite like I did against Sylas. You have to take Teleport and Fleet Footwork. Otherwise, if the guy knows how to play, you will not farm it all that game. If you're fed, you should not try to trade kills 1-for-1, I would say. You should always look for opportunities to E to people and ult back, like I showed in the video. Like, always try to play around hitting E. And what you shouldn't do as well is like play too aggressive in lane, because Akali is a bit changed now. Early game, you don't really have a lot of damage. You really have to play her like a poke character, even though she's short range. Yeah, other than that, you need to really learn your damage, and you need to learn like what combos you can pull in what situation. But most of the time, I would say, if you do get really down the ult E combo, I would say that, and you really master that, I think, and you have a good laning phase, I think you could easily make it to like diamond with that. I hope you liked the video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.